Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And today we are going to finish the other half of our jack-o'-lantern diamond. So this is what it looks like. And we had 25 squares. Let's see. I need my my needle. Okay. So we're going to now, from here on out, the begin our row is changing. So we are going to chain one and turn for row 26. And in row 26, because we are decreasing on both ends, we are slip stitching in the first two stitches. Okay, then in that third stitch, that is where we're going to start our square. And then we're starting out with orange, and then we're going to this blue, this dark blue that we've been using. And we need to put 4 dark blue in. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so what we did is we created a corner here, and we will be doing it that way from here on out. We'll start every row that way from here on out. Now we need to go to our orange. So switching back to the orange, we need to put 3 orange in next. So there's 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then we need to go to our yellow, and we're going to put 1 yellow in. And this is the only time we're using our yellow in this row. So that's going to stay behind, and we're going to go back to the orange. And we need to put 8 orange in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to finish off this row by putting 6 blue and an orange at the end. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then switching over to our orange. All right, but normally we would end up here, and because we're decreasing on both ends, we're going to end here from now on. So this is actually our last stitch, and we're going to put that orange square in that stitch there. All right, and then you make your square, and then we need to slip stitch to this first stitch right here where this orange is, and then it's done. So there's another corner made. So we have 3 corners now. And also in row 26, you should have 24 squares. So as it went up by 1, when we started, it went up by 1. We had 25 squares at the end of row 25. Now, because we're decreasing on both ends, we're going to go down by 1. So next row will be 23 squares, and the next row after that will be 22. So and so forth. So anyway, row 26 is done, and this is what it looks like. And we're going to mark off our row. And also, the next row doesn't have yellow in it at all, so I am going to cut it off. And then we will be starting that yellow in the next row after that. All right, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn, because this is what we'll be doing for row 27. So we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and then start our square in that 3rd stitch. All right, and then we always start out with orange, and now we're going to go to blue, and we need to put 5 blue in. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to switch back over to the orange, and our next 13 is going to be orange. And I am actually going to put those in off camera, and I will meet you at the end of those 13 orange. Okay, so we have 13 orange in, and now we need to finish off this row by putting 3 blue and an orange at the end. So we're switching over to blue. We'll put 3 in. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And that is row 27 done. And like I said, you should have 23 squares in that row. Mark that row off and go on to 28. Alright, so let's chain one and turn. And we run the slip stitch in both stitches. And then here we start our square in that third. We'll be doing this from now on until we finish off this square. That's how we'll start every row. Okay, so now we need to switch over to the blue, and we need 3 blue. Switching back to our orange, we need to now put 3 orange in. Alright, and then we need to bring our yellow back in, and we're going to put 1 yellow in the next one. And then we're going back to the orange again, and we need to put 2 orange in next. We need to bring this yellow with us because we're going to need it again. Alright, and we need to put 1 yellow in here. Alright, we're done with the yellow. Now I need 5 orange. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Alright, and then we are switching over to our blue, and we need to finish off this row with 5 blue and an orange at the end. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so there is row 28 done and what it should look like. And we'll mark that row off. Let's chain 1 and turn for row 29. And as usual, we will be starting out with the orange. All right, and now we need 5 blue. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so now we are going to go back to the orange and we need to put 5 orange in. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we need our yellow. And we need to put 1 yellow in. And then go back to our orange. And we're going to put 5 orange in, but we're going to leave that yellow behind because we don't need it anymore. There's 3. 4, and 5. All right. And then we're going to go back to the blue, and we're going to finish off this row with 3 blue and an orange at the end. All right, and this is the 3rd blue. Put our orange in. And that is row 29 and what it should look like. Mark it off. On to 30, row 30. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And then start out with the orange as usual. And we're going to go to blue and put 2 blue in. And then go back to the orange. And we need 5 orange next. So there's 2. 3. 4. And 5. And then we need our yellow. And we're going to put 2 yellow in. Wait a minute. I left that blue behind. Darn it. I'm going to need that blue. All right. Now we can switch over. To our yellow. All right, so we need to put 2 yellow in next. And then we can leave it behind. And we got to go back to our orange and put 4 orange in. So this is 3 right here, and 1 more. And then we're going to finish off this row by putting 5 blue and an orange at the end. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And this is 5. Put our orange one in here to finish it off. Alright, so there is row 30, and in row 30 you should have 20 squares. And this is what it looks like so far. Alright, so for 31, let's chain 1 and turn. We'll start off with the orange like normal. And then we need to go to our blue. We're going to put 4 blue in. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. And then we need to bring our green in. So we're switching over to green. And we're going to put 2 green. So there's 1. And 2. And we're just going to leave it behind because we're done with that. Alright, now we need to go back to our orange, and we need to put 3 orange in next. So there's 1, 2, and 3. All right, so we're going to the yellow. We need 2 yellow. All right, and we'll leave it behind and go back to our orange. And now we need 4 orange. And then switching over to blue. We need 2 blue and an orange to finish off this row. All right, so there is row 31. We got one more thing to do with that eye, and then that'll be done. Mark off that row. And we'll get ready for row 32. All right, so we're going to chain 1 turn for 32. Starting out with the orange, and we're going to go over to our blue, and we're just putting 1 blue in this time. And then we need to go to the orange. We're going to put 6 orange in. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And on the sixth one, let's bring up this yellow, because we are going to need one yellow next. Alright, and then we'll put the one yellow in, and now we need orange again. I'm going to leave that yellow behind, and we need two orange next. Alright, and then we're going to bring up our green. Switching over to our green. We need to put 3 green in. Oh. Uh-oh, I'm not getting the whole thing. The yarn split on me. No wonder why I couldn't get it to go through. Alright. Alright, so there's 1. 2. And 3. We're going to leave that green behind, go to our blue. We need to put 2 blue and an orange to finish off this row. No, it's 3 blue. Sorry, not 2. 3. 3 blue. Alright, and so that is what row 32 looks like. We just finished up the eye. So now the face is pretty much done. And we can cut that yellow off. We are done with that. And we can mark off our row. Alright, so row 33. We're starting off with the orange, and then we're going to put 2 blue in. And then switching over to our green, we need 3 green. So there's 1. 2. And 3. And then we're going to switch over to our orange, and we're going to put 9 orange in. So, but I'm going to do that off camera, and I will be back after those 9 orange are done. Alright, so I have my 9 orange in, and now I'm going to finish off this row by putting 1 blue and 1 orange at the end. Alright, and this is what our square should look like now. Our diamond. We're going to mark off row 33. And we can get started with row 34. Okay, row 34, we'll start off with the orange again. Alright, and then we need 1 blue. And then switching back over to the orange, we need 8 orange. So I'm put 8 orange in, and I will be back after those 8 orange. Now I have 8 orange in. We're going to bring up the green and put 3 green in. And then we're going to finish off this row by putting 2 blue and an orange at the end. Alright. Alright, so there's row 34. We'll mark it off. And onward to row 35. A couple more rows to finish off our pumpkin, our jack-o'-lantern. We're starting off with the orange and going over to the blue, and we're going to put 2 blue in. And then bring up the green and put 2 green in. Alright, we're switching over to blue, not orange, and I just switched over to orange. From those 2 green, we need 1 blue. Right here. And then we're going to switch over to orange. And we need 7 orange next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we're going to finish off this row by putting 1 blue and 1 orange at the end here. Alright, and so that is row 35, and we should have 15 squares in row 35. So let's mark off that row. Row 36. Starting off with the orange. We're going to put 2 blue in. So there's 1, and 2. Then we need to switch over to the orange and put 4 orange in. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I need 3 blue next. Alright, and then we're going to switch over to the green and put 1 green in. Go back to the blue. So we need to finish off this row by putting 2 blue and an orange at the end. And we just finished off our jack-o'-lantern. So there's our jack-o'-lantern, and we'll mark off that row. Row 36. So row 37. 47. Alright, let's start out with our orange again. We are going to cut off this green because that was the end of the green as well. So we'll get that going out of there. We are just dealing with 2 different colors now, and that is our orange and our blue. So we started out with our orange. We are putting 11 orange or blue in between these 2 oranges because you should be down to 13 squares in this row. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Alright, and then we're going to slip stitch. And that is row 37. And like I said, you should have 13 squares in that row. And what you're going to do now is you're going to just keep continuing between these colors. So the next row will be 10 blue in between the oranges. And the next row will be 9, and the next row will be 8. So and so forth until you get to row 47. And you should have one orange, one blue, and one orange when you get to 47. And I will be back to show you 48 and 49. That's one. Okay, so we're going to this is 47. So you should have one orange, one blue, and one orange in that row. 3, which is 3 squares. All right, so now we're done with that blue, and we're going to cut it off. And now we're just dealing with one color, which is the orange. All right. So we are going to slip stitch up here, and then we are going to put 2 orange in here. And then chain 1 and turn. We need to slip stitch up to our 3rd stitch, which is our last one. We're just putting 1 orange in this row. Slip stitch there. And then we can cut that off. And that ends our diamond. All right, so this is our jack-o'-lantern. Looking pretty cool. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie down all my ends, and then we'll be back to do the border on this. And we'll see you then. All right, so we've got this all ready to go. This is the front of it, and this is the back. Or you could decide whether you like what you like as front and back, but make sure the back is facing you. All right, so I attached this color and chain 1, and I'm putting 2 half double crochets in this corner. All right, we're going to go down, and we're going to put a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then this section right here has 3. So we want to put a half double crochet in each one of those 3 stitches. And then the next section will have 2. And then 3. So you'll be going all the way down to the end, doing the 3 2 3 2 all the way down at the end. and I will see you at the end of this side. Keep picking that up. Alright, so we're at the end here, and you should have about 58 to 60 stitches there. So we're on the corner now, so we're going to do 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet in that corner. Alright, so that was a long side, and you'll have 2 long sides. We just did a long side. Now we're going to go down a short side. Alright, so we're going to, there is a long stitch right here where we put all 3 stitches in there. We're going to put 1 in there. And then there is a double crochet right here. We're just going to put 2 half double crochets around that. And then there is a space right here. Put 1 in there, and then 1 here. So, and then you'll see the half double, or the double crochet again. You're going to put 2 around that. So it's 2, 2, 2 all the way down. There's a space before that 1 stitch, and then there's the double crochet. And of course, when you get to the corner, you're going to put 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet in there. And when you go all the way around it, you're going to finish this corner off, because we only did half of the corner, so you're going to finish that corner off when you get all the way around it. So I'm going to go all the way around my diamond, and I will be back for row 2 of this border. Alright, so we're going to chain 1, now that we're all the way around there. Here is row 2, round 2. So we're going to put 2 half double crochets in this corner. Alright, and then in the front loop only, we're going to put a half double crochet in each stitch. But we're going to use front loop only. Alright, and then when you, the corners are the same, it's 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet. So we'll go all the way around it with this, and then we'll be back for row 3. Okay, so for row 3, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. Alright, and in this corner, we're going to put 3 single crochets in there. And then the back loop only of the stitches down the side, you're just going to put a single crochet in each back loop. And when you get to the corners, it'll be 3 single crochets in each corner. And that should finish up this diamond. It'll look like this. We've got a couple of little decorations in there. So I hope you guys had a lot of fun making this jack-o'-lantern diamond with me. I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye now.